Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So I'm posting this a little bit later than usual, and that's because I needed some recovery time. But I'll get to that in a little bit. Overall, Bitcoin is showing a little bit of weakness, right below 67,000. But you know what? Day-to-day volatility really doesn't matter. Okay, long-term growth, long-term gains is what matters. And even though today is down slightly, but overall, you zoom out, you realize, yeah, we're still going sideways. We're still consolidating, and that is okay. That is perfectly normal. Okay, and I'm going to show you why it's normal and why it's not time to be giving up. By no means. Today, I saw that PC inflation data came in with expectations, but still overall elevated, right? And a lot of people are still worried about this. A lot of people do not want their fiat to disappear, right? Or more importantly, to have it basically become worthless, right? That's what fiat is going to do. Eventually, they all become worthless. Okay. That's why you need to stick with assets like Bitcoin. So, inflation reading, yeah, it's going to show inflation still elevated. And I don't think the Fed could do much about it. I think our like 3%, somewhere around there is probably the lowest it's going to get because you know why? The Fed is going to have to cut rates soon. So that's not going to help with inflation data. But they have to do it regardless because it's election year. And plus, um, economic data is showing that the economy is slowing down. People just aren't buying as much. Retail, manufacturing data, even the quarterly results from a lot of these consumer-based brands, they're all showing weakness. People are just saving up. They're just not spending, right? And that is exactly what the Fed does not want. So those rate cuts will come. They will come. But I'll tell you this, they're not going to help with inflation. It certainly won't help inflation. In fact, it's going to make elevated inflation go up even higher. That's why we need to stick with Bitcoin because it's like this sounds. It's a very convoluted, uh, I don't know, circle that just will keep on going, right? And those that continue to hold fiat and don't invest will get burned more and more so. So that's why we need to stick with Bitcoin. Okay. Now, as for Bitcoin's current movement, we know that we are closing in at a monthly close. Okay. So this is what it looks like. If we can close above 69,000, which was the previous high in 2021, that is a very, very bullish move. Now, we're not too far off from there. We're a little bit down, but a lot of people are looking for this move above 69,000 right before the end of the day, right? So we can make the monthly close because it is the last day of the month. But here's what's interesting, right? We had, and I brought this point before, we had 7 consecutive green months prior to April. From September all the way to March, we had 7 consecutive green months for Bitcoin. Never happened in Bitcoin's history. Yes, we had a down month in April. It was going to happen. Okay. You can't expect Bitcoin to go up forever. But look at May. We're still in the green. Even where we are now, we're in the green, right? So the remainder of this year, we can have some bumpiness, but just keep in mind, we already are ahead in this cycle. Bitcoin already broke previous highs many, many, many times before the halving, and even so now. Okay. So monthly close, I do think a lot of technical analysts think that closing above 69,000 would be a very, very positive thing, a bullish thing. But overall, just know that hey, Bitcoin's only gonna go higher, right? Regardless, in my opinion, if it closes above 69,000 or not, just look at what's happening around the world. Look at all the great things happening and all the FOMO that's building right now, right? So that's what ultimately matters. According to this post, this person is a founder of was a crypto quant. He's saying that right now looks very, very, very similar to mid 2020 when Bitcoin just hovered around 10,000. I remember those days, and we still had a lot of volatility. We were trying to climb up from a low of 3,800, and we stood below 10,000 for many, 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 many months until we didn't and kept going and going and going to 69,000, right? And he's saying it's kind of the same thing right now. Looks like we're just consolidating. A lot of whales are buying OTC, loading up before the next leg up and the parabolic phase really kicks in, right? That's how the whales do it. They don't really follow and FOMO like the retail investors do. They know how to get in while things are low or while people are scared or becoming discouraged, right? This is example of that. Look at this massive outflow that occurred from Kraken. Okay, that absolutely massive. That's like almost $2 billion. Okay, outflowed from Kraken Exchange. That's probably a big OTC buy. Okay, so that shows you that there are a lot of whale movement happening right now, right in front of our eyes if you just look. And if you just look at this and know that, hey, we have barely started this parabolic bull run. Yes, we may have went up a little bit, but just look at how much days or how many days I should say we still have left. Just like all the previous times, it's going to be no different whatsoever. So you just have to have patience. I met a lot of people this week at Consensus and just around town. And really, there are so many people that are just really enthusiastic about building the space. But there are also some that have no clue about Bitcoin and they still think it's too volatile. But again, um, the the price of admission for investing Bitcoin is really patience. And if you have patience, you will be able to hold. You'll be able to DC long term, and that's really all it takes to succeed. That's it. That's really it, right? And luckily, we have many charts and indicators, and also on-chain metrics that show that Bitcoin is doing exactly what it has done in the past, in previous cycles, and we are moving exactly in the same direction. So those things also help. All right. And then outside of Bitcoin, what else is there? Just a couple of news. Let's see. I do have some Solana news. Layer Zero is now live on Solana. So Layer Zero is an interoperable um, chain, which basically allows messaging across many, many different layers or many different chains, I should say. So this will just make Solana even greater and better and more interoperable with many other chains out there. So that's absolutely fantastic. Also, people notice that Grayscale, they do have a lot of other trusts, and they've been adding a lot to their Stacks trust, which of course is a layer two basically for Bitcoin, allows programmable smart contracts to be conducted or executed on Bitcoin. So there are definitely a lot of interest in Stacks. And I've always said this with Bitcoin, the higher Bitcoin goes, the higher Stacks goes. That's really it. And lastly, yeah, I said I was out a little bit later than usual last night, and that's because KC46 happened. Those of you guys that are following me on X saw all the tweets that happened yesterday. It was absolutely fantastic event. Literally everyone that went had a good time. A million people stopped by. A million people shook my hands and just said how good it was, and they were just glad to meet me, and also how different a KC fight feels, right? It's unlike anything else that's there at Consensus or anywhere else to have sports, legit fighting league, and have crypto influencers involved was absolutely insane. insane. So many people didn't know about it, but they do now. So if you guys didn't check it out, make sure you head over to CryptosRUs Plus. The full video's there, but there are a lot of matches. The IFC fights start a little bit later, but you could check out all the fights. We had 4 matches yesterday. We should have had more, but we had 4, and those 4 were absolutely phenomenal. I mean, if you, for example, I'm showing the Tech Hustler versus Tactical Investing. These guys are beasts and then beat on each other for 3 rounds. I mean, it was insane. It was absolutely insane. And even someone like Billy McFarland, yeah, he fought in IFC and he won. And he did actually much better than people thought and getting national attention. Um, it was just a great event, great event. And I showed this too. We have a new IFC website, influencerfightclub.com. It's part of CryptosRUs. So we will be posting all the individual videos. We'll post the full video on here. It's going to be absolutely insane going forward. I'm hearing so many good things about it. So many people that want to apply. And if you do want to apply, just go ahead and hit the apply to IFC or invite your favorite project or your favorite influencer to fight. We're just going to make this bigger and better, and it's just going to be awesome. The entire space is going to love it. And if you guys in here, we had some call outs. We had some calls, a major one that happened during the fight yesterday. So if you guys didn't check that out, make sure you do so. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Stay strong. I know today, a little volatility, but hey, we have seen this before. You can see Bitcoin has dropped to this level before just a week ago. We are essentially going sideways. Have patience, continue to hold on DCA, and you will do just fine. All right, guys, that's it. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.